The main event of UFC 296 is set to take place in Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, December, and it's going to be main evented by the former title contender, the King of Chaos, and the current undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, the native of Birmingham, West Midlands, England, Leon Rocky Edwards, ladies and gentlemen. This fight has been a fight that we've all been anticipating for, not like yesterday or the day before or when Edwards became the champion of the world. This was a fight that we all had anticipated for all the way back in 2018. We've been talking about this fight, and today the fight is happening. And in this particular scenario, Leon Edwards is the undisputed champion of the world, and it's going to be a title fight between the two fighters. And what I want you lot to take a note of is this. Covington is going to be the biggest, toughest challenge for Leon Rocky Edwards. Edwards has had fought a lot of great fighters, competitive fighters, Nate Diaz, Kamaru Usman twice, the likes of Cowboy Cerrone, just all these great fighters. But fundamentally, foundationally, stylistically, Covington is unique. The way the guy mixes things up, his striking coupled with his grappling and wrestling all together, and the fact that the guy's an NCAA All-American wrestler, D1, bear in mind Usman is D2, mixing all these things together, I believe that statistically, Colby Covington, looking at all the data and analytics and obviously his previous performances and all of that, I do believe that Colby Covington might actually have a greater chance than a lot of pundits in the UFC would like to give him. Number one, let's look at him. Let's look at the experience factor. The guy had wiped out everyone in his division. The only person that he couldn't beat was the previous champion in the Nigerian Nightmare, Kamaru Usman. He's the only guy he couldn't beat. But apart from Usman, every opponent that Colby Covington had faced, he whooped them. He smoked them. He slapped them. He literally beat the hell out of them. Right? I mean, what he did to Damian Maia, he left him in a pool of his own blood in Brazil. And what did he do? Grab the microphone, scream, "Brazil, you're a dump. All you filthy animals suck." Bear in mind, this was a time that the UFC was going to cut his contract and get rid of him. What did he do? Did the right thing. Trash talked. And an empire was built. An empire of trash talking from that day was built. And he is the King of Chaos. And going into this fight against Leon Edwards, I believe that experience, obviously the experience factor matters, but Leon Edwards also has a lot of experience as well. I mean, he's already defended his title against Kamaru Usman. Not only defended it, but beat it. I mean, he knocked a guy out cold with a head kick. Out cold, one of the greatest knockouts you would ever see in UFC history. I mean, he knocked him out cold. Now, Colby Covington is facing this guy. This is going to be such an incredible fight because both fighters are stylistically different. They're just so different in so many ways. Colby Covington, relentless, great cardio, amazing wrestling, mix them all together, just makes him devastating. Leon Edwards, beautiful Muay Thai striking, elbows, knees, and the fact that he's got great wrestling. Bear in mind he took down Kamaru Usman and his submissions are second to none. So if you couple these fighters who are stylistically different and bring them in the octagon, what are you going to have? A great fight, a great matchup. So UFC 296 probably might be the biggest main event or the best main event I've seen in a while. Honestly speaking, just like I've mentioned earlier, Covington might be the underdog, which statistically, analytically makes sense because he's not the champion. The champion currently is Leon Edwards. Bear in mind, Leon Edwards beaten Usman twice, and Usman was someone who beat Colby Covington. So yes, it naturally, it's logical to have Edwards as being the betting odds favorite. Absolutely. But I'm just saying that do not sleep on Colby Covington because he had these opportunities against Usman and he blew it. But this might actually be a chance for him to redeem himself and become the new undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world after trying twice already. I mean, the guy defeated almost everybody in that division apart from Leon Edwards and Kamaru Usman. I mean, if we look at Leon Edwards, cardio is going to be an essential factor going into this fight. Looking at Leon Edwards, his cardio is not the best, to be honest, ladies and gents. His cardio isn't. I mean, he got rocked by Nate Diaz in the 5th round in their fight. And he got rocked, he got caught, he got wobbled. His cardio left him. And we've all seen that Covington has the ability to be able to rock people. And also, he can keep his pace for 25 minutes. Covington can fight for 40 minutes in the octagon non-stop, and he's going to keep going. So going into this fight, cardio is going to be an essential factor. And if Leon Edwards shows any weakness in his cardio, this might allow Covington to capitalize and take advantage of that. And if it just comes down to distance in itself, I just believe that Covington definitely does have the advantage because of the cardio factor, to be honest. So if this fight was going to be a decision victory, personally, I'd probably go for Colby Covington, to be honest. But if anybody was going to get finished in that fight, I would say Leon Edwards more likely will finish Colby Covington. But if the fight was going to go to a decision, or it's going to be a decision victory for someone in that fight, I likely would say Colby Covington will beat Leon Edwards via decision. But if there was any knockout or TKO, I'd go for Leon Edwards as winning via TKO or knockout, simply because of his track record of knocking out fighters. Whilst Colby Covington has had finishes in the UFC, but it doesn't have a track record of knocking people out clean. And that's it, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen. But what are your thoughts about this fight between the King of Chaos, Colby Covington, and the native of Birmingham, Leon Rocky Edwards? What are your thoughts? I just think it's going to be such an interesting fight. It's hard to just say that one person is going to beat the other person without any sort of like level of understanding or at least giving some context to why Covington might beat Edwards or why Edwards might beat Covington. Both fighters are so different in many ways. So I think your prediction might be based on your own biases, and it might be based on what you value the most. If you value wrestling the most and relentless pace and cardio, then obviously Colby Covington winning that fight would be your opinion. But if you value great striking, takedown defense, beautiful Muay Thai, and some degree of wrestling and submission, then having Leon Edwards as winning would probably be your opinion as well. So I can't personally give a prediction and go into this fight, to be honest. It could go either way. But what I fundamentally believe is that if that fight was to go to decision, I believe Colby Covington probably will win the decision. But if that fight was going to be a TKO or knockout finish for anyone, more likely Leon Edwards is going to get that TKO or knockout victory against Colby Covington. It's just that Colby Covington's pace and cardio is just absolutely incredible. Relentless pace, relentless cardio, and he can keep up with that pace consistently for 25 minutes. Leon Edwards can't do that. We've seen it against his fight against Nate Diaz. I mean, he was brutalizing Nate Diaz. He was completely outstriking the guy, but still got caught, still got clipped. He gassed out, and Nate Diaz nearly got the finish. So he was essentially saved by the buzzer, ladies and gentlemen. So obviously, I really appreciate you lot taking the time to watch this video. Like, just give your opinions, just down in the comment sections below, to be honest. And what are your thoughts regarding this fight? Because this is going to be a fight for the ages. Leon Edwards, this is going to be his second title defense. Defended it against Kamaru Usman. Now he's defending it against the King of Chaos, Colby Covington, in Las Vegas, Nevada. So yes, I can't give a prediction without giving a context or background information about both fighters and their records. Bear in mind, Colby Covington's last fight was all the way back in March of 2022. So the guy had been away for a while. His last fight was against Jorge Masvidal. It was a dominant fight, but that was his last fight. Whereas Leon Edwards, his last fight was March of this year. So he fought Kamaru Usman for the second time. So yes, this is going to be an amazing fight, ladies and gentlemen. Who have you got winning? Just leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll really appreciate that, to be honest. Smash the like button down below as well. Comment and subscribe for more consistent content from me, and I'll see you later. Peace.